Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Portal to the Infinite, which is your guide to humanity's ascension. Because we are ascending, folks. It's happening. And if you're not plugged in and realizing it, you're going to realize it very, very soon. And this is a great, wonderful thing for humanity. So, this is my second podcast with a very small audience, obviously. I really haven't even, I've barely told anybody I know. I want to just put it out there and just see where it goes and what happens and kind of to develop its own audience. And I feel that it will align with people who will resonate with the message that comes through. And again, I'm not any different from anyone else. I'm just a person who has walked a spiritual path, who has evolved spiritually, who has grown spiritually, who has experienced miraculous things, but who also walks a daily conscious life of love and peace and joy and happiness and abundance. And I do that because I know that those are all mine and they're all yours. They are the birthright of every soul on this planet. Because that's what you are. You are a soul. And by the way, I'm just going to lower the music here. That's a very powerful song by Tchaikovsky. And in case anyone is interested, it does show up. The YouTube picks it up automatically, this version of it. It's called the Masquerade Suite. And Tchaikovsky is one of my favorite composers. And as I said in the last episode, that classical music is, to me, one of the greatest ways to raise your vibration and to tap into all of the beautiful, wonderful energies that are out there. Music is very powerful, but music could be very, very negative as well. So if you want to listen to that piece in its completion, you may find it below in the description box. Now, what I want to talk about today, because there's always so much to talk about, but so in less than 3 weeks, actually much less now, we have an election here in the United States. And while there is certainly a side I support, I don't give any of it my energy. Now, what I do is I want to wind up in the version of reality where the right people win, and because ultimately it doesn't really matter. And that's what I want to talk about today is, again, reclaiming your energy, because all of us possess the single most valuable commodity that everyone is after. And what is that commodity? It's our attention. Because where your attention flows, your energy goes. Now, this is why every day, most people don't realize this, but we get up every day, we go about our day, and between the media and advertisers and politicians, they're all fighting to get our attention. Because once they have our attention, they have our energy. And when they have our energy, they control us. They control the decisions we make. So you've got to take your energy back. You've got to start to see yourself. Just take a couple of minutes each day. Be quiet. Quiet yourself. Listen to the quiet, the stillness within, and get in touch with who you really are as an eternal soul. You are one with and an expression of all that is. And as a result, we're here to experience and create. But we need to put our energy where we want it to go, toward the things we want to have and experience, toward the things that we wish to create, and not toward all of this nonsense. Which is why, as I say, and I say this all the time, if you're watching the news, please turn it off. The news, it's not even news anymore. It's corporate-owned propaganda, and people are awakening to that. And everybody's realizing that this is just a bad, bad thing. And all it's designed to do is, at this point, to divide people, to get you so sidetracked and so angry, because the anger will then consume you. Imagine walking around thinking that half the people in this country are evil, and they're no good, and they're all sorts of names that we hear being said all the time. Where did that all come from? Well, it came from the media. And why would the media do this? Because the controllers, and they're on their way out, folks, the controllers on this planet have been losing grip, which is why you're seeing what you're seeing. Because everything is coming into light. And everybody's recognizing that everything is corrupt, beginning with politics, government. It's completely corrupt. And I don't mean everybody in it, but it is a corrupt system. And that system, as well as the monetary system, the educational system, our medical system, you name it, you name the system, they're all no longer serving our highest good. They don't serve us anymore. And that part of Ascension is to move to that version of Earth where we set up new systems that empower and work with and for one another. Because it's not about taking, you could have all the wealth in the world that you want, and you can create that. You have to have you have to be in frequency with it through your thoughts and your belief systems. And most people aren't. Most people struggle financially because of their belief system regarding money. Now, all of your belief systems, again, they represent energy. And they are like groups of energy that are channeling that energy toward specific outcomes that represent your belief, which is why if you believe something, it will exist in your perception of your reality because you believe in it. If you don't believe in something, it won't exist. So every day we fight to take our attention away. I mean, I've gotten to the point where I've gotten very good at it. As I say, I can watch what's going on. I can see clips of news that are shared on Twitter X because I got rid of cable, so I'm not going to sit down for an hour and watch some people in a box tell me what I'm supposed to think. So taking your energy back means going through your mind and finding out about yourself. What do you fear? What are you worried about? Because those are all constructions in your mind. Because most people, they either live in the past, regretting things that they did in their past, and then when they think about their future, they're worried. They're fearful about what could possibly happen in their future. Now, the only thing you have control over is the present moment, the now, the here. And you've got to learn. That's the beauty of meditation, mindfulness, sitting still, or even taking a walk in nature, separating yourself from your devices, getting into the now, and letting your heart speak to you, your soul speak to you through your intuition. That is the single greatest way to receive guidance from your higher self. Because your mind, if you don't quiet it, will always run away from you. It's always going to be very worldly. It's always going to be worried and fearful because it doesn't know. Your mind is not capable of knowing anything. But your higher mind knows exactly why you're here, why you came here, the lessons you wanted to learn, and the experiences you wanted to have. And it knows how to get you from where you are to where you want to be if you learn to trust it. You have to learn to trust it. It knows you better than you know yourself. So most people live their lives using their mind. Oh, I got to figure out how to do this. Oh, I hope this goes a certain way. Oh, I'm all worried about how this is going to go next week with that meeting. And that you're making that your now, and you're giving away your energy. Anytime you worry about something, anytime you're fearful, that, again, is energy, but it's energy draining. So when you remove your attention from something, you no longer give it any energy. Your attention should always be on you in the current moment and becoming the greatest version of you that loves yourself and loves others exactly the same. That you're living a world of peace and joy and abundance and allowing those things into your lives, but also wanting them for everyone else. That's something that I've learned because most people do not think about that. They think about what they want to manifest for themselves, and they give no thought to seeing everyone else possess the wonderful things of life as well. And that, again, is unfortunate because we could all be helping one another with our positive intentions. But instead, in this world right now, people put on the news, and every day people are angry at each other. People hate each other. People are saying terrible, horrible things to other souls. Now, granted, most of those souls are walking in complete oblivion. They have no idea that they are an eternal soul, indestructible. They have no idea that they don't die. They can only die physically, but you can't die. And they have no idea that they've always been a soul. You're not just your physical body. You're not just living life until one day the lights are out and then you're obliterated as if you never existed. You're so much more than that. But you have to discover that yourself. And there's no like set way to do this. The principles that I discuss are the principles that I've used. But if you find something that works better for you, by all means, do it. Because if you resonate with something, that means it's supposed to be for you, you see? So like if you resonate with this podcast, if you feel that this podcast adds something of benefit and positivity to your spiritual growth, well, that means you were meant to find it. And one day you may move on and go to another podcast. So we have to know that we resonate with something. That's how we know it's for us. And that's what your higher self is always going to do. It knows exactly where you need to go and what you need to do, the people, places, and things necessary to bring about that very thing or those things. It leads you to them through your joy. And if you're not living in joy, well, how are you going to know where to go? So what is living in your joy? That's following your bliss. If you like something, and whatever it is, it could be saying right now in this moment, I want to get out and I want to take a walk. That right now would be my highest joy right in this moment. When I come back, I may say, I feel like cooking something special up tonight. In that moment, that's your greatest joy. Follow it. You may be led to a book. You may be led to anything. It doesn't matter the size. It could be small. It could be large. What matters is how it makes you feel. Are you resonating with it? Is it bringing you joy in the moment? Because you keep at it until, you get bored with that thing and it's time to move on to the next thing that gives you joy. And that's how you know that you're always going to be walking in your power and allowing your higher self to align you with everything that you need, desire, and want. Because sometimes the things we want, they change. I know there are many things that I used to want, and I don't care about them anymore. They don't resonate with me. And it doesn't mean they're good or bad. It's just that's the case. Something you may love may be something I have no interest in because I was not meant to. So you're always going to get exactly what you need when you need it. And you have to walk around in that faith of knowing that you will always get what you need when you need it. But you have to know what you love. You have to know what you want. And you have to spend time quietly with yourself, examining and listening to what is that little voice inside of you saying? What is that intuition, that gut instinct? It doesn't have to be words. It just could be the feelings. You know what it is to feel, I don't know about this, or feeling really good about something. That's your gut instinct speaking to you. That's your way of knowing the direction in which you must head. So, again, you can live a beautiful life. There's absolutely nothing stopping you. I do. I love life. I absolutely have everything I desire. There are still things I'm working on because my path is never going to end. I don't want you to think that there's an arrival point one day where you arrive at the top, like at the top of a mountain. Because once you've done that, then it's time to do something else. So your path is always moving forward. You just have to trust that you are loved and you are guided. And you are, by the way. You are so loved. Ask the universe to show you this love or to give you a glimpse of it. I've had that. And by the way, ask and you shall receive. It's amazing how your guides, and we all have them, they could be ancestors, they could be loved ones, they could be people that you have never known in this physical reality, but you'll remember them when you get back to spirit. And they're there to guide you, and they love you unconditionally. And if you ask for something, like if you're going through something and you need more peace, you need more light to come into your fields, so to speak, ask for it. Visualize it, and it will come. It may take a couple of minutes. It may take a few hours. It just depends. Because time is meaningless in spirit. There is no time. Linear time is only here for us to be able to make sense of a path that we are taking. Yesterday, right now, and tomorrow. That's linear time. There is no linear time in spirit. It's eternity. And I realize that is very difficult for many people around which to wrap their minds. But don't even try to. Just know who you are, know what your birthright is, seek it, and desire it. And it shall be. It shall come. You'll be led. Most of the time it comes as something you completely unexpected, but in the best way possible. Because your higher self knows you better than you know yourself. You don't really know anything about yourself. And if you use your own mind, the brain in your head to try to figure things out, it's never going to happen. That's why great artists also talk about how they received inspiration. Great composers all received the pieces of the music from the ether, from the air. What it really is it's coming from spirit, which is all that is. Everything that ever was, everything that ever will be, everything that ever can be, all exists right here and right now. This is why in quantum physics they talk about the multiverse. The idea that there are parallel versions of reality that are the only difference between one and the other is the position of an atom. Because our realities are changing constantly. It's just that we don't perceive it. It's like taking a reel of movie, an old movie strip, and putting it out on the table. You could see the first frame, you could see the last frame, you could see the middle frame, but they're just frames. And that doesn't make sense until you play the movie, and then all of a sudden it looks like it's real. Well, that's exactly what we live in. We live in that type of system where we have the unseen, which is where all the energy is, because we are energy. And even just think about that, how amazing that is that we are made up of atoms, and atoms are 99.999999999% empty space. And that they have subatomic particles within them that pop in and out of existence. And scientists don't know where they go. They can't say it because they have no devices with which to measure. But it goes right back into spirit. So you have this dance of energy going in and out, in and out, in and out, from spirit to physical, spirit to physical, spirit to physical, at an unbelievably fast rate. I mean, a regular movie frame rate used to be 21 frames per second. We live in a reality where it's more like billions of frames per second. So you're never going to perceive this with your human eyes and your human intellect. You're just not. So don't try. Just focus. Focus on happiness and joy. And when you're walking down the street or driving down the street, and I love to do this, I picture a big light coming from my chest, from my heart center. And I fill it with love, peace, abundance, joy. And I then send it to everybody I see who passes me on the road with a beam. That's hard because I'll tell you, one of the greatest things to do is to get over the aggravation of driving, because I live in an area that's quite hectic, and it's not a country area. It's suburban, but suburban areas here in northern New Jersey aren't what they used to be. And it's tough. It puts your patience on trial. But you always have to remember that other car contains another soul. And that soul is one with you. And when you begin to understand that and see it that way, you'll never be angry. You can't be angry at somebody else. It's useless. It's meaningless. It's not going to solve anything. Besides, you attracted whatever it made you angry. You attracted it. So when you live in the oneness, recognizing that we're each unique expressions of all that is, having our own unique experience, realizing that that experience is for the sake of all that is, which is creation, God, the universe, whatever word you want to use. But it is there for you to use. Unfortunately, for a long time now, we've lived in a world where nobody knows this because it's not taught. Religion has really hidden so much of this from people. It has snippets of wisdom and truth in it. But as a system, hierarchical system, it makes no sense. It's another means of control. And so part of this ascension is that people are awakening to their spirituality. And this is not something where we have to have 100% of the 7.5 billion people experience this. Because it's going to get to the point where people are going to see through everything and come to this awakening at some point, whatever their time is. And if it's not for them, if it's not part of their soul path to be part of that ascension, they'll wind up going back into spirit somehow or another. So there's so much happening, and I realize with the election coming up, people are really on edge about it. Just realize every time you start feeling aggravation or anger at anything, that something is robbing you of your precious, valuable energy, which is your greatest commodity. So detach yourself. Detach yourself from anything and everything that just has no meaning for you. I don't mean drop people out of your life, although you may have to do that in some cases, or it will just be, you'll be led to have that happen naturally. But you don't do that with hatred. You do that in love. And you always express gratitude, you can say it within you, for that person's role in your life. For whatever that role was. It could have been positive, it could have been negative, whatever it was, you created it. Yes, you did. And I know everyone says, well, I didn't create these things. I wouldn't have asked for them. Well, you did it. Of course, not intentionally. This is your subconscious mind because you're still caught up with all the beliefs that you've had throughout all of your life that you've accepted as true. And these are the things that your parents, your teachers, your families, your neighbors, we all were taught the same things. We all believed the same things about this world. And then we pass that on to the next generation. So instead of, doing that and keeping yourself in bondage of your previous beliefs, examine your beliefs. Find out what you have inside of you that is holding you back or causing you to stumble. You'll find out what it is. Just pay attention to your words. This is why self-awareness is the most powerful skill you can develop. Because you'll be aware of everything, including the words you speak. Because the words you speak will reveal absolutely what you believe. So the moment you start saying things like, well, I can't do this, or I'm never able to do that, there you go. Catch yourself. You can't do something because you obviously believe you can't do something. And if you believe that, then your reality will maintain that belief. So that's how powerful of a creator you are. You are just incredible. You are infinite. You are loved. You are guided. So make sure, spend that quiet time each day. Find out what beliefs you have and become aware of where you're giving your energy. Because you can give all the good energy you want all day long. If you're wishing peace, health, happiness, and joy for yourself and everyone you know on this planet, and everyone, just everybody. I want everyone on this planet to be at peace, to live in peace. I want everyone on this planet to achieve their dreams and desires, because that's why they came here. Because everything together, when it's done with the right intention, serves humanity. It serves everyone. This whole idea, the lack consciousness of, there's not only so much money to go around, there's only so much this, so I got to get as much of it as I can before the next guy does. That's meaningless. That doesn't exist unless you believe that. So there is limitless abundance on this planet, limitless love and peace and joy and perfect health. So put your energy in those directions. Want those things for everybody. And that's how each of us work together to build this new world, this ascended reality that we're all headed towards. We all play a role in it. Nothing outside of us is going to do it. It must come from within us. Anyway, so that's my show for today. I like to keep these things brief. I find that I would just wind up saying the same thing over and over again, but I think you got today's message. So if you liked this video, if you resonated with it, please give it a like, please subscribe, share it with somebody you think may find it interesting. I'm also on Twitter X, and so I enjoy doing this, and this is where I feel led to be doing what I'm doing these days. My background was in business and in politics, and politics is not for me anymore, that's for sure. We're going to need some new great leaders, and we will have them. They are emerging already, and to do the great things that need to be done to basically revamp every corrupt system on the planet. It is happening before our eyes. So live in that reality. See the future as you want it to be, and see how you look and feel in that future. And on the lead out today for today's show, I want to play the closing theme to one of my all-time greatest TV shows from the 1950s, The Honeymooners, which was filmed right in New York City at the old Dumont Network. I just happen to find that this song is melodic, it's beautiful, it's hauntingly beautiful. I know many people love it. So that's what I'm going to end, maybe today, maybe every episode, with the ending theme of The Honeymooners. So enjoy it, and may you live and find your direction, your peace, and your power. See you next time on another episode of Portal to the Infinite. And I'm Brian, your host. See you then.